brings you all the pros and cons of investing in the Nigerian real estate market, and we bring the news updates, valuable insights. We show you here on how to make real estate work for you, how you can profitably earn from the real estate market. Yes, that's what we do on the show here. And I am your humble host. My name is Amara Omozrike, and as always, it's an honor to be with you here today. All right, so today on this topic, we're going to be looking at, some of the changes, the policies that are coming up in the next few weeks, if I put it that way, in the next few weeks, looking at the new tax reform laws. And we're going to look at how it pertains to the real estate market in terms of home ownership and investments in Nigeria. So that's what we're going to be reviewing. A lot of people have reached out and asked that these new laws that are happening is coming into effect on the 1st of January 2026. What is it all about? How do I protect my investment? How do I also put myself in a profitable position where I'm also able to pay tax and as well profit from these laws in terms of your business transactions and your business investment? So this is what we're going to be looking at. Okay, we're going to be looking at the key laws. We're looking at the timeline, what's new, what's important for real estate and home ownership. And we're going to be seeing how does it also affect you as a homeowner, as a renter. We're going to see also the changes that this new law covers and what the limitations are, and also we're going to look at the implications, what to expect, the implications and what to expect, and what you should do if you're a homeowner, if you're an investor, if you're a developer, what you should do, how you can adequately align yourself to be at an advantage in profiting from this new tax. Let it be also a better, an advantage to you, right? So this is all we're going to be looking at. So yes, it's a value packed section. So stay tuned. Don't touch that. I will be right back.
For real estate market insight and industry trends, join Amara on the Naija Landlord Show, where we show you how to make real estate work for you. For different investments, strategies from real estate experts on Naija Real Estates. Elevate your financial education and investment in Nigeria. So tune in every Saturday on VOP 90.3 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Naija Landlord Show, the voice of real estate in Nigeria.
Okay, good morning and welcome back to the Nigeria Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. And so we're going to be talking about the new tax reform laws, and we're going to look at how it pertains to the real estate industry in terms of home ownership and investment. All right, so the Nigeria's new tax reform laws aim to simplify taxes, attract investments, and boost economic growth. Now, here's a breakdown of what the law it's all about. The new tax laws are all about. Now, we'll look at the personal income tax. Individuals earning below 800,000 naira per year are exempt from the law, and new tax rates range from 0% to 25%. Now, corporate tax, small companies turnover less than 100 million naira are exempt from corporate tax. Capital gain tax CGT rate increased to 30% for companies. And then we look at development levy. A 4% levy replaces existing levies, simplifying compliance. Now we also look at the VAT, the value added tax. The VAT remains at 7.5%, but input VAT is now recoverable on all purchases. So also the free trade zone, the FTZ enterprise maintains tax exempt status with clearer guidelines. Now these reforms aim to create a more transparent, predictable and competitive fiscal environment, supporting economic growth and investment in Nigeria. And now, how does this new tax reform laws pertain to real estate and home ownership in Nigeria? Now, let's look at these new laws in terms of the real estate market and the timeline. Now, 4 main tax reform acts that were signed in 2025. We look at number 1, the Nigerian Tax Act, the NTA 2025. Nigeria Tax Administration Act, NTAA 2025, and Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act, NRSEA 2025, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act, JRBEA 2025. These laws were published in the Government Gazette on September 9th, 2025, and the implementation for many of the changes begins on the 1st of January 2026. Now, what's new about this law and what's important for real estate and home ownership? Let's look at some of the major reforms in the tax laws that directly or indirectly affect real estate homeowners, renters, developers, and investors alike. So now the reform, let's look at the fact exemptions. What it means is that real estate transactions, sales, lands, rents are to be exempted from VAT, right? And who does this benefit? It helps buyers, renters, developers, and also results in less costs added to transactions. And okay, we look at the stamp duty exemption for low rents. Now, rents below 100 million naira per month will be exempted from stamp duty. Now, renters, landlords, and majority renters and landlords are the people who would benefit from this lower rents leases, right? So because of you exempted from this stamp duty, it also can imply that to help to lower your rents and lower your leases, your rent costs and your leases. All right, so this also this is how you can benefit. This also benefits the renters and landlords alike. And then we look at capital gain tax, which is the CGT exemption. Now, sale of dwelling houses for homeowners will be exempted from CGT, that is the capital gain tax. So if you're selling your property, your building, especially if it's a residential property, you'll be exempted from the capital gain tax. So, I mean, less tax subcharge for you, right? So homeowners that are selling their residences, not investments, I must note that here, not investment, but residential properties would benefit. You can sell your property and you will not have to pay capital gain tax. So now if you're going to buy a house and you're trying to make an investment, and especially if it's a residential investment, a residential structure, residential property, you can be sure to look through the transaction details to make sure that you are not charged for the capital gain tax, right? So you also look out for that. And then we look at the rent relief and deduction. Now, tenants, a lot of people have reached out to me and say, okay, as a tenant, how am I going to I'm going to benefit from this new tax reforms and laws? So, as a tenant, you who pay documented rent. I must stress that documented rent, because you cannot just pay. You must show evidence. You must show proof of the payment, right? The rent, the price, so that they can confirm that yes, you're within the range, the persons that are qualified for these exemptions. So it's a tenants who pay rents, that documented rent, that can deduct, I beg your pardon, can deduct 20% of their annual rent from taxable income capital, which is actually capped at 500,000 naira, right? So if you're a low and a middle income renter, in middle income or earner, yeah, I beg your pardon, earner, who have rent that is below 10 million naira per annum, you can actually get a deduct of 20% on your annual rents, right? But this is actually capped at 500,000 naira, right? So I'll get into more details of that. So yeah, that is an exemption for rent relief and tax deductions. Now we look at no VAT again on building materials. That is in some cases, right? So some people are scared and saying, "Oh, if I'm going to have to build my property, I'm going to have to pay so much in VAT on the materials, the building construction materials, the building materials, and this would go on to increase the cost of acquiring that property or the cost of renting that property. So at the end of the day, it's coming back to the tenants, the renters. But here the law is also saying that there's going to be exemptions on some building materials, right? So exemptions or incentives for production of building materials, particularly non-metallic ones, which should help reduce construction costs. Okay, then we also have the clarification and harmonization of property and land taxes. This new law aims to streamline and clarify what taxes apply to land transactions, that is in terms of the titling, the documentation, and reduce controversies for real estate investors, real estate developers alike. So yes, so it would help to streamline. Not everything that you are going for in the process of acquiring that property has to be taxed, right? So it will streamline and clarify where these taxes apply and where you are exempted. All right, so you have to I must put a caveat here that you have to reach out to a professional to also guide you, help you in reviewing some of these transactions, and let you know where you can get some exemptions and some deductible tax, right, where it applies. Okay, so now let's look at some of the changes, some of these changes, what they cover, and their limitations, right? So now looking at homeowners versus renters, many of the benefits are aimed at renters. That's so some people are saying the cost of rent will increase, but no, this tax shows that many of the benefits are aimed at renters. That is in terms of rent deductions and some other benefits. Like homeowners may not be able to use rent deduction. Yeah, I must note that, since you don't pay rent to yourself, right? You cannot be living in the property and you're saying you're paying, and it's your property, and you're saying you want to benefit from rent deduction. No, because you possibly can be paying rent to yourself. Yeah, so too bad. Some people might say, okay, it's part of my income, but well, it doesn't apply here, right? So another point to note is the documented rent that is required. Now, to get the deductions, I said I was going to go more in detail in this. To get the deductions or exemption, stamp duty, that is in terms of stamp duty, VAT, and otherwise, you need documented verified rents. That is in terms of your tenancy agreements, receipts, and any other form of the contracts that you have with your landlord. So you must be able to have a documented agreement or receipt to show that this is the amount that you pay in rent, right? Because an undocumented rent won't qualify. So there has to be tenancy agreements, lease agreements, receipts, and the likes to show that this is the cost or this is the amount that you pay in rent, which would also go on to qualify you for the tax deductions. All right, so and some of the caps and the cap that's on this, because it doesn't apply to any amounts of rent. The rent deduction is capped at 500,000. That is the stamp duty exempts. This stamp duty exemptions only apply under certain rent fee, right? Certain rent level, that is 10 million naira per month. So for high end or luxury properties, you wouldn't be able to benefit from this tax deduction because your rent is above that status for the tax exemption. So you must look at the amounts that you're paying in rent before you can know if you qualify for this exemption. All right, so yes, I must also note here that these laws come into effect, right? They take effect from the 1st of January 2026, and anything before that still applies under the old law. Anything before that is still under the old law, right? So yeah, you must look out for that. So what are the implications of this new tax reforms, and what are you to expect, right? So now, look at some of these implications. Number one, lower transaction costs. Buyers and sellers would see reduced cost since VAT is removed. Stamp duty for many leases will also be lower or more, and then we will see an increased demand and affordability. These reforms aim to lower barriers to entry in real estate, especially for lower and middle income earners. This could help to boost home purchases and rentals, right? So we'll see increased demand and affordability. Some of the properties are going to be, less expensive, more affordable for low income earners, for low and middle income earners. And then, yes, it would also lead to an increase in demand in the market, right? Then also, I'm looking at the other point. We look at a more formal documentation, because many benefits require documented rent or valid title documents. There will be more incentives to formalize rent agreements and ensure proper titles and proper registration, right? So now there will be no more, just verbal agreement or under the table agreement in court, right? So now everything has to be properly documented. It's no longer word of mouth that this agent told me to pay so amount, I paid this. It's no longer verbal agreements. Now we would see more formal documentations. Everything has to be documented so that you do not become subcharged, or become taxable for something that otherwise you should be exempted for, right? So there's going to be a more formal documentation, and I must also point out that many of these benefits require documented rent or a valid title, right? So there will be more incentives to formalize the rent agreements and ensure proper titles and proper registration. Now we also look at incentives for developers. Yeah, developers are not left out, because sometimes some developers are saying we're going to be spending so much, in developing the properties, and this would otherwise affect our profits. Now for developers, you will see lower input costs in terms of materials, right? And then you also get clarity on taxes. In the past or right now, if I may say, you will just see some tax some unreasonable tax, like some tax that you can't even explain what this tax is for. You just be taxed that, just comes like that. Bah, pay this amount, pay this for this, for this. Now that is not going to happen anymore. You're going to see clarified billings on your taxes, why you're paying for what you're paying for and why you're paying for it, right? So the era of being charged in without any formal due process, it's gone. All right, so this would this would stimulate more housing development, and especially affordable housing, right, in terms of development and for the developers, right? So, and also we'll see a pressure on valuation quality to apply many taxes properly, that is the VAT exemptions, land taxes, and the capital gain tax. Fair and proper valuation of land and property will be crucial. So you cannot just come and now say this is the amount of this property, because if you are saying this is the amount, the tax will apply to that amount, and somebody who is going to buy it would not want to be paying that kind of tax that is being added to the property cost, right? So now there would be proper valuation on properties. That will see an increase or pressure on valuation quality, right? So you have to now be sure that you have fair and proper valuation of that land or that building, that property, so that in aspects of transaction, you protect yourself from unreasonable tax charges, and then also it would it will help to avoid disputes or under stroke over valuation of the property. So some professionals have talked about this, and they have warned that most every person's experts in this area should be warned and make sure that they are not over, in some terms of the estate surveyor, not overvaluing the property or undervaluing that property, right? Okay, so I hope you're getting value, right? Because this is very crucial. Sometimes we think that this tax, we hear this information or this new laws that the government is churning out, and we think that it doesn't really relate to me. I don't have any, it's not my concern, but that is not the case. It would affect you one way or the other, as far as you have to live or work in a building, in a space. You'll be affected one way or the other. And for people who, especially in the new coming year, you want to grow your investment, you're looking to profit from the real estate market, you should also arm yourself with this information. It will better guide you on valuable investment transactions that you can make. So yes, these new laws, these new government policies are not irrelevant or not something that you should overlook. There are something there are things, processes that would affect you directly or indirectly, and so you should make sure that you put yourself in the best position to benefit from this laws, in terms of the deductions and exemptions, and also in terms of other transactions that you're making, that they are not put undue tax charges on. You're not giving undue tax charges to pay, right? So yes, you should always get the right information. Okay, so I'll be going on a short break. When I come back, I would open the phone lines if you have any questions. Reach out to me. I'm not a lawyer, I don't have all the information, but definitely I'll do my findings and get back to you. And also we'll be bringing a tax expert in the coming weeks that is going to talk about this new tax laws extensively and how it applies to you, and also in the real estate market, how you can take advantage of it in the real estate industry. All right, so stay tuned. I will be right back. When I come back, there'll be more.
Pinot Properties Limited present the Pinot Christmas Splash from October 1st to December 31st, 2025. Celebrate the season with amazing appreciation gift when you invest in any Pinot Properties project. Enjoy exciting rewards such as food items, household appliances, and electronics based on your investment category. Plus, every verified client automatically qualifies for a free client Christmas bonanza with mouth-watering gifts. Visit plot 170 Janet Fagbemisi Street, Diamond Estate, Amu Odofi, Lagos. Or visit any of our branches in Abuja, Sokoto, Vietnam, and Alaba, Lagos. Don't miss out. Invest smart, celebrate big. Pinot Properties, we care for your future. Call 0704-7208-387 or 0916-841-4662 for details. Terms and conditions apply. Pinot Properties, we care for your future.
For real estate market insight and industry trends, join Amara on the Naija Landlord Show, where we show you how to make real estate work for you. For different investments, strategies from real estate experts on Naija Real Estates. Elevate your financial education and investment in Nigeria. So tune in every Saturday on VOP 90.3 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Naija Landlord Show, the voice of real estate in Nigeria.
Welcome back to the Naija Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. Yes, so today has been quite an insightful section, and we have been talking about the new tax reform laws and how it pertains to real estate and home ownership in Nigeria, right? So it has been quite an insightful section. I hope you've gotten value. All right, so I'm opening the phone lines. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or send us a message. But the phone line, the number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Right, so that is the number to call. And if you want to send us a WhatsApp chat, you can send the chat to 0817 081 717 56338 081 717 56338. Yes, so the new tax reform laws and how it pertains to real estate and in home ownership in Nigeria. So I have a caller. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know
Hello?
why I'm having that noise in the background. Hello, can
Hello?
you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can
Hello,
you hear
can
me?
you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please call me back. I can't hear you properly. All right, so please call me back. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. All right, so now just a quick summary of all that I have said so far, and what you should do if you're a homeowner, an investor, or a developer. Number one, review your rent or lease agreement. Ensure they are properly documented, properly registered, and your receipts are properly issued. If you're a renter, you want all of this, documented agreements to claim your deductions. All right. So number two, check current title documents. Okay, I have a caller. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi. Good morning. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is
Honorable Francis from Pertain.
All right, Mr. Francis, thank you for calling.
I have a question. I need a property line.
Okay.
So they pay money to my account. I release to landlord to account. How does this strategy affect me or the landlord? What do you mean?
Okay, so basically because of the money being paid into your account, do you have a corporate account or it's a personal account? Is it a business account?
It's a personal account.
Okay, a personal account. So if it's a personal account, it could be taxed as your personal income, right? So it's best that you have a business account, right? Because it will not be part of your business transaction, and then it's only capped for businesses that are making at least 100 million and above, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
If it's up to 100 million and above.
Yes, then you'll be taxed. So it's better you have a business account and don't get those money into your personal account, because now it's going to be taxed as a personal income tax. Yeah.
But I'm not the properties I manage are far less than 100 million.
Okay, so then it still should be better, because even if it's far less than 100 million, it will be said that that's a personal income. So it's best you enter a business name, right? It doesn't have to be a company account, maybe just a business account, right?
Okay.
Protect you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Honorable, for calling.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the number to call once again is 0700 903 903 903. All right. I also must say that you should please engage tax and real estate professionals, right? So because it will apply, different laws apply to different industries, right? We have the lawyers, we have valuers, we have tax consultants. These people will help you to ensure that you are in compliance and can take advantage of the reforms. All right, so the caller, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning. This is Kingsley.
All right, Kingsley, welcome to the show. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah. I want to ask. I have a business. I own my business, and it's registered. But my younger brother, who came to Lagos, is working for someone, and for now he doesn't have an account, so his salary is paid into my account. So, for that reason, is it okay for me to allow them pay his salary to my business account so that it doesn't get taxed, or his salary is above 100,000 plus?
Okay.
So, is it okay for me to ask them to pay to my business account, or they should continue like that? Where will the tax? Will it be tax? Will it be tax and all of that?
Because his salary, why is it not being paid into his own account?
He doesn't have an account for he tried to use NIN and all of that.
Okay, well,
so he doesn't have an account for now. So
I see. I would advise that he gets his, he should try to sort out his identity problem and get his own account. But for now, I would say, okay, it's better you take it in your own personal account, because if it's in a business account, it might be charged, but it will be the best result here is for him to get his percentage on that, right? So because it will be thought that that's an income that is coming to you, so it is best for him to have his own name. The company is paying directly to him, so that it's just being taxed from the company level before it even comes to him, so that there's not a double charge on that income, right? All right, thank you, Kingsley, for calling. Okay, all right. So as I was saying, please keep the call coming. As I was saying, you should engage tax and real estate professionals, because they will be able to guide you. Each industry is different, right? I cannot really say for other industry, like in terms of maybe the construction industry, the fashion industry, the other medical industry and all of that. So each industry is different. You must make sure that you engage lawyers, valuers, tax consultants to ensure you're in compliance and can take advantage of the reforms. Okay, hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, I lost that call. All right, so now I said check current title documents, ensure proper proof of ownership. Right, somebody cannot be telling you that, oh, the property is belongs to my father. It's still in my father's name, and then there's like a long line. There must be proper proof of ownership, and then you also have the rights documents in terms of survey plans, registration, all of that, so that when you sell or you transact, you benefit from the exemption and the charge and the clearance. All right, so you must check the current title documents to better protect yourself. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is David from Paja. Yes, I've been. Yes, the house I'm staying currently now about 3 years now. I've been paying rent. They've not been giving me receipt for over 3 years.
Wow.
And I pay for agreement. I've not given 300,000 for agreement. Agreement was not issued. The receipt has not been issued till now. I just finished 3 years. Okay. So what do you think is the implication?
Well, I think that you cannot get any exemption because you do not have proper documented agreement between you and your landlord.
But is it not wrong on the part of the landlord or the agent?
Yeah, it is wrong, and you should require them to give that to you. It is your right to have an agreement because a transaction was being made between the two parties, and so you must ensure you could write them.
This agreement was paid for.
So I think the best line of action is for you to write them. You could write them and demand for a copy of the agreement and also receipts that to show that your transactions have been made. So write them, and if they do not respond, you could also get a lawyer to just write them. It's not going to cost you much. Just get a lawyer to write them demanding for
I really enjoy your program. It's wonderful. It's educative. It's enlightening.
Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that feedback. Thank you. Okay. All right. So yes, if you have not, if you have been paying, I call this transaction under the table transaction. I mean, there's no proper documents, there's no proper signed contracts or receipts. How do you not even prove? Because sometimes even in business or even trying to do some processes like traveling and all of that, you need all this receipts to prove that you have been making consistent payments and you have been you're credit worthy, like you're trying to get a loan. All of these receipts, all of these agreements would also help to prove your credit worthiness. So please, you must demand for this from your landlords, from your agents. All right, so the next point for developers: ensure cost of materials that are sourced comply with whatever is required for exemption and incentive. Like I mentioned, some of the building materials, is not all of them that are exempted from these taxes, all right, that are exempted from VAT. So ensure that the ones that you are buying, that the materials that you are sourcing, the ones that comply are the ones that comply with whatever is required for the exemption and the incentive status. All right, so yeah, another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is sorry, what's your name, please?
My name is Marshall.
Okay, please, could you turn down the volume of the radio set a little? I'm getting some feedback.
You're letting me know.
Yes, you said your name is Matthew?
My name is Marshall Obama.
Okay, Marshall Obama, welcome to the show. Let's hear your thoughts.
I've heard your discussion this morning.
Yeah.
And I love everything. So keep it up.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I want you people to help us and review. There are houses built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Why should their rent escalate? People are really crying. Salary is not increased. The landlords will increase their house rent. Agents will collect maybe 200% or 100%. Please, people should review this thing. A lot of people are gone. I mean, dying. Houses built with more houses are collecting the same rate. Houses built when cement is 225 naira.
Yeah.
Then they will now erase themselves with Victoria Island houses or whatever. Any house built newly should go for new free. And not old houses coming to tell you how much are they paying the other place, how much are they paying the other place. I mean, people are paying. Please. And if the government said that building houses, they want new houses, let me say a room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, and then get the land used like that, and then make it a kind of mortgage for several years for them to finish paying. And not all these things we are seeing now that somebody will tell you things are costly. Just as if they are building or they are building a new home. Thank you very much, my sister.
All right, thank you so much, Marshall, for calling. Yes, you have made so much in a very, very critical point here. I mean, there are lots of people that have seen an increase in rent across the state, and some of these increases as much as 50%, 100%. We've even reviewed some of these, rent issues with here on the show with some of the experts, some analysis that came on air and talked about all of this. So yeah, we're going to still do some episodes on this, analyzing why these rents are being increased across the state, even for old houses like you mentioned. All right, yeah. So I think the best thing, sometimes you should you should ask your landlord, why is this rent being increased? What are the reasons? I mean, maintenance. Some of them are telling you that they are spending more on building materials. Okay, the building is an old building. Okay, maintenance. I mean, we should be able to get some questions to this regard. All right, so I have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Amara.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm very fine, thank you. What's your name, please?
My name is Mary. I'm calling from Prescott.
Mary.
Mayor.
Okay, Mayor. Thank you for calling. Let's hear your thoughts.
Well done. Yeah, I'm following your approval. It's so unfortunate that we don't have a government, because in same crimes, some of these issues like housing, in fact, as we know, the 3 basic issues of life, food, clothing, and shelter, shelter is very important. And in some crimes, most governments will always assist the people. Some raise buildings through mortgage, people will pay over some years the buildings and enjoy their life. But here, the government is just working very hard to frustrate the citizens. Now, this issue of tax, in fact, the whole thing you are even saying, I think the only thing I can get from what you are saying is just for me or any other person to get maybe a tax consultant. Because the whole thing is complicating, and I'm sure that even the people that put that thing, if you ask them some telling questions, they might not be able to answer it. It's just continue to extort money from the citizens. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that people, we are talking about the rent, and the thing has gone so high all over the country, even in the East, everywhere. So if they have to survive in the next few years, in years, most people can even afford to get anything for them down. So I think the best thing is for these people, these government, people in power, all these tax whatever, they should have Biden said have a man face. They should have a man face.
Yeah.
Nobody is going away with anything on it. Whatever tax they are going to collect from people, they are not going away. America is not going with anything. So these taxes are killing. That's all over the place. So definitely the media, even if you don't hold your billion and let them know that the people are not finding it at all. I'm sure by the time this thing comes up in January, most people will try to go east. For now, it's really like a story of the thing. They start implementing it. People will now see it through.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. My name is.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. My name is Bennett.
All right, Bennett. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maza.
All right, Bennett. Let's hear your thoughts.
Enjoy your program. This is first time calling.
Oh, thank you for calling. Thank you so much.
I have an issue with my landlady. Not that it's really issue.
Okay.
He rent the old house. Even the zinc had been leaking. I patch, I do whatever I supposed to do to make sure I shed myself.
Yeah.
The rent I'm been paying 120. He now come up say it's 250,000. If I can't pay, I should pack out. An old house. It did not renovate anything. It's not a new house.
Not a new house.
So all this issue is getting out of point. If government can hold these people responsible, give them what they tell them what they're supposed to do. You understand? It's very, very annoyed. The house that you are not renovating, you are not doing anything there. You continue increasing the house every year. And if you want to go and rent a new house now, a new house, they will tell you agent 200,000, agreement 200,000. Even this person that I'm telling you is not even used to give anybody receipt.
Yeah.
Don't give anybody receipt. I only keep in the account the way I transfer the money to. So if there is any issue tomorrow, I can go to my bank and print it out. If he asks for a receipt, he say he don't have receipt. I will tell my lawyer to give you. And that's stand up. Oh my dear, God will help us.
I'm telling you, Bennett.
God will help us.
Yeah.
Let the best God bless person may have his own house.
Exactly. I mean, that's the goal. Have your own house and protect yourself.
That is it. God bless you people.
Thank you, Bennett, for calling.
God bless you people.
Amen.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I appreciate the call, Bennett, and I'm really sorry that you have to go through this. You know, sometimes it's crazy because you see people taking advantage of, like I said, the economy right now, and all you are concerned is how to enrich themselves. Yeah, they might say that everything has increased, but then you're also a human being, right? Okay, so I would have to wrap up because my time is up, and please send me a message if you need more information directly to my number, and I would be able to get some research and get you some feedback. So the number to chat 08064637377. So send me a message 08064637377, and watch out for the upcoming weeks in this month December. I'm going to be bringing a tax consultant who is going to answer all of your questions and give us more detailed review of this tax law. All right, so stay tuned. I have a lot lined up for you for this month. All right, thank you so much. I hope you had I hope you had a valuable section, and I'm wishing you a blessed week. All right, do take care. See you same time next week. My name is Amara Onswike, and I'm out.